Kanye West is widely regarded as one of the most recognizable figures of our time. However, in recent times, he has used that power to spread deeply troubling ideas and eye-opening statements. But now, Ye, formerly known as Kanye West, is currently dealing with the fallout from his recent antisemitic comments, as many organizations and individuals break ties with him. And due to all this, his net worth has decreased due to broken business partnerships, and he is no longer a billionaire. So, what is happening to Kanye West? And how far has he fallen? Can he get back to his position of being a billionaire? Or will another celebrity's fall from grace be etched in stone? Well, let's see. Without a doubt, we can all agree Kanye West is one of the most famous and controversial characters in the world of celebrities that we live in today. His outlandish behavior has repeatedly caused passionate music fans, music reviewers, and members of the general public to have divergent opinions. His activities have regularly resulted in controversy, whether it be by humiliating Taylor Swift during her first VMA win back in 2009, or by making outlandish comments about social concerns, such as when he argued that African American enslavement was a choice. Kanye West has, on occasion, been defended by other people who have praised him by calling him a visionary, the finest of all time, and unafraid to speak his opinions when he expresses them. But the rapper, on the other hand, has been swiftly criticized and described as messed up, abusive, and horrifying. So has he, however, finally crossed the line? 2009 was a banner year for Kanye West in many respects. His fourth studio album, 808s and Heartbreak, which represented a significant change from his soul-based hip-hop style, were resounding critical and financial success. And a brief journey into fashion culminated in a sneaker display with Louis Vuitton and the first shoe line for a non-athlete with Nike during Paris Fashion Week. West, the uncomfortable producer-turned-rapper, was no longer attempting to escape J influence. He had matured into a genuine celebrity and become something far more significant. He was the only one who could stop himself. And now, following the artist's public relations campaign in October, his empire is now a smoldering ruin. And just to try and see the magnitude, according to West, he lost $2 billion in a single day. Yes, that's $2 billion. Wild, isn't it? His entire makeover into an alt-right puppet began with the smear campaign against his ex-wife Kim Kardashian, followed by the White Lives Matter fashion statement in Paris. Some companies that had previously worked together but have since cut ties include Gap, JP Morgan, and Creative Artists Agency, amongst others. But even then, West maintained his composure throughout the ordeal, declaring on a podcast that Adidas, the brand he joined after leaving Nike, would never abandon him no matter how many more anti-Semitic statements he made. But Adidas, on the other hand, followed suit a week later, and the company believes that this choice cost them a possible loss of $246.5 million in earnings for the fourth quarter. Up to 8% of Adidas's total sales came from Kanye West's Yeezy clothing and accessories brand. Now we can see why it took them a week to finally break up with him after working together for so long. But how did all of this start? When did Kanye West start imploding? Surely, we have gone a long way from the days when a Kanye drop signified something very different and a densely encompassing sound collage that was at the vanguard of the new era of pop music. The release of the College Dropout in 2003 marked Kanye West's shift into emceeing after years of being typecast as a producer, although one who contributed to J. Landmark Z's Blueprint album. Not only did this album differentiate West from the other gangster rappers of the period, but it also elevated the status of preppy dress and nerd adoration. 2 years later, he released Late Registration, which became a Billboard sensation and transformed popular music. West wasn't technically a gangster in the same sense that 50 Cent is, but he was harsh in his own unique way. His own personal brush with mortality came in the form of an automobile accident in 2002 that left him with a broken jaw. And in the course of emergency treatment, a metal plate was implanted in his chin, and his jaw was wired shut. Even though this was a positive conclusion, it would have been detrimental to a young rapper who is just starting out. So, despite this, West made the most of the circumstance by rapping about it over a sped-up version of a song by Chaka Khan. And, Through the Wire, the opening track on Kanye West's album The College Dropout, solidified West's reputation as an unstoppable musical genius. Soon after that, West became a cultural giant, surpassing artists such as Common in Chicago, Russell Simmons at the Def Jam Record Company, Diddy in business, and the late designer Virgil Abloh, with whom he had a contentious relationship that served as the basis for a South Park parody. But once West's ego had reached a certain level, it became difficult to continue to feed it. Nothing that Kanye West did, including interfering with Taylor Swift's acceptance speech at the 2009 MTV Video Music Awards, marrying Kim Kardashian, whom he jokingly dubbed the Marilyn Monroe to his Walt Disney, teaming with Donald Trump, or complaining about slavery being a choice, seemed to satisfy him. The rapper has even gone on record confirming that he suffers from bipolar disorder. Amazingly, he came shockingly close to making it through each episode. But Adidas changed their number, and things started to heat up. And now that almost all of his associates have left, West has fallen off Forbes' list of billionaires. He's a dangerous asset. West was going to purchase the right-wing social network Parler from her chief executive spouse, but not even the right-wing commentator Candace Owens would host him on her show anymore. Fans who saw West's antics as judo techniques to wriggle out of his apparel business ties must definitely feel let down after learning that West paid an uninvited visit to the Skechers office in Los Angeles and was shooed away. And definitely, we don't believe a board of directors in a million years would ever allow a corporate to touch him again. West's rise to prominence defied the odds, but his fall from grace is unfathomable. There has never been an American idol who has fallen from grace in such a spectacular manner. Even Roseanne Barr, who once dressed as Hitler and was ultimately written off her own TV revival after making a racist joke about former White House senior advisor Valerie Jarrett, didn't have her fingers in as many pies as West, who was also in desperate need of new partners and a divorce lawyer. Even Camille Vasquez, the legal attorney who was able to save Johnny Depp, is similarly uninterested in assisting West. And recently, he tried out an apology on Lex Fridman's show. However, this did not make things better for the students of his recently shut down Donda Academy, excuse his defamation of George Floyd, or prevent him from using profanity in the future. Hence, Yee's billions have been reduced to millions, and JP Morgan is no longer ready to lend him money based on his net worth or engage in the normal tax avoidance game with him. This is because JP Morgan no longer believes Yee to be a high-profile enough client. As a result of this, West could soon learn that the Internal Revenue Service was the only institution that was prepared to work with him, and for them, Heartless is more than just an anthem for West. It is a way of conducting business. Everything belonged to him, including his fortune, position, freedom, and influence. However, it turned out to be insufficient in the end. It was impossible to predict that it would fall apart in such a severe manner. Despite this, estimating how much farther he may fall is still impossible. But does it mean that West doesn't have to take responsibility for his controversial actions? Legally speaking, the answer is no, since madness is rarely seen as a good reason to abdicate responsibility. However, personally, this is a difficult subject, and it's possible that many individuals who struggle with mental illness, particularly those with bipolar condition, may relate to West, while others, even some who also struggle with bipolar disease, are quick to point out that this in no way absolves Kanye of blame. To put it succinctly, Kanye West is a convoluted individual. He is one of the most well-known musicians of the last several decades and has achieved things that most people can only speculate about. But still, he has a reputation for disrespecting co-workers, states antisemitic sentiments, and looks to have accepted far-right political ideals. He is a man facing a mental illness that, due to the stigma that is linked to it, does not typically receive appropriate attention and compassion in terms of treatment. He is a fighter, though, and he is determined to win his way back to stardom. Is it realistic for this to happen? Only Ye knows the answer to that. Anyway, after all that, what do you think about Kanye West and his extraordinary fall from grace? Do you think he will ever recover from this recent media flare? Or have the flames from the fire he created burned too deep to recover from? We'll just have to wait and see. And before you go, smash a like, hit subscribe, and see you next time.